to Corner podcast. My name's Jeff, and as always, as you probably know by now, I'm joined by my good friend Paul.
Hi there.
How are you doing tonight?
Yeah, I'm really good, thanks.
You've put on another random accent.
Yeah, sorry about that. I don't know where it was going. It just I thought it might be fun, and it wasn't actually. It was really disappointing. So that's just life.
Well, I don't know if it's disappointing. We'll let people. They can comment. And let
you
us
can
know.
be the judge of this.
Yeah. So we're not alone tonight. We're joined by a voice. It's not a disembodied voice, but a voice that might be recognisable to many Big Finish listeners. It's Beth Chalmers with us tonight. Yeah. Hello, Beth.
Hello. Thanks for having me.
Hello,
That's
Beth.
right. Thank you for joining us.
No, you're very welcome. I'm just looking forward to some more accents from Paul.
I know that's it. That's as far as it goes. That's my full repertoire right there. It doesn't go any further than that. That's as good as
range
it
of one.
Yeah. That's it.
So, Beth, we've got a few questions to go through with you tonight and find out a bit more about you and all the huge range of stuff that you've worked on. So
huge range.
It really is. When you look at someone's like IMDb or their credits list and just kind of keeps scrolling. And
keep scrolling. There's loads and loads of stuff there. I have to ask though, can I just ask before we start, because I have to know this, but Beth Chalmers, are you the Beth Chalmers involved with Mystic?
Yes,
yes.
What? You know Mystic?
I do. I know Mystic because I have two teenage daughters, right, who started watching it one summer. Actually, it might have been during COVID when they started watching it, and I'm like, guys, what is this? And they're like, shh. I'm like, what is it? I sat down, and I instantly recognized it for a program about horses and handsome boys. That's kind of what I thought it was about. And they love all that stuff, apparently. So, which I never knew. So I learned something about my daughters, that they love that stuff. And
it's so much more than horses and handsome boys.
Of course it is, because I started getting into the whole adventure of it as well. I mean, there was horse thievery, there was duplicitousness, there was drama, there was people who looked like they were going to die at any moment, and it was getting really tense. I did kind of end up watching it as well. So it's
I'm thrilled. I'm thrilled. Yeah. We blew up caves and we drowned. Oh God, we had a horse charging down the beach and made this poor girl lie there as if she was being washed up. And,
of course, because why would you not do that?
And then afterwards, we were told that it was all a bit iffy, that the horse got quite close to her head.
Oh, really?
Yeah,
Oops.
Nothing we could do. We were sort of crossing our fingers, going, "Well done."
Yeah. Can we just do that again, darlings, please? Yes. Oh no, that's all right. Yeah, because I suppose health and safety is somebody else's problem, really, isn't it?
And you wonder why they say don't work with children and animals, but
I tell you, it was quite. They were children, animals, and COVID. They really scuppered us. But that's really what I did when when in lockdown, just was writing it. We were show running it, but from the other side of the world. So every morning you wake up to emails and you go, why have you done this? Why have you changed those things? And why have you got children wearing stripes next to each other? They look like a mine. So and then every night you've got meetings until very late.
Yeah. Was it a lot of fun doing that though? It looks like it was probably that sort of production where you have a lot of fun, a lot of work, but a lot of fun.
Yeah, we went out there once for series 1, but we couldn't go out for series 2 or 3. And it was a lot of fun. It was a lot of fun because we were completely immersed in it. And in lockdown there wasn't anything else to be doing, so we were very, very lucky to have that. And we worked in a group, me and my writing partner, and we had a script editor, Jen, and the three of us all day, every day,
just constantly at it, doing
we were editing series 1, writing series 2, and story breaking series 3 all at the same time. So
wow.
So I mean, Amy and I were, my writing partner and I were the whole time going, "Hey, has she met him yet, or have they been there?" And thank God for Jen, who was our producer editor. She knew everything.
Did you have a Bible for it?
A sort of Bible in the head. Yeah.
In her head, it was extraordinary.
Yeah. I suppose as the longer a show goes on, and I imagine for the guys at Big Finish and stuff, and working on Doctor Who, trying to keep track of the kind of timelines of characters and all the way things go, and one of they end up with these great big thick Bibles to keep track of it all.
Yeah.
How could you otherwise?
How could you?
Because you see it sometimes when in a show, someone will say something, and then the audience will be like, well, 4 episodes ago, or 2 series ago, they said they didn't eat cucumbers or something, and so you have to keep track of all of it. It must be quite a task really to do that.
Yeah, it's very much for them to do, which is why when you said we're going to chat, I'm terrified that I'm going to because I have done quite a big span of things for them.
Yes,
and I'm very engaged in it when I'm doing it, but it's very difficult to remember which story with who and where I was and what land, what planet I was on, and in every sense. And so I'll try and answer whatever.
Well, don't feel terrified.
Go for it.
We haven't got any questions that relate to what planet did this story take.
No, we're not that intense. That's a different podcast.
Good, I'm glad.
Yeah. So let's start off with for anyone who's listening or watching who doesn't know who you are, Beth, why don't you tell us a little bit about you and your background and all the things that you get up to?
Well, I write and act and voice, and I've been doing cartoons and radio drama. I went to drama school. I won the Carlton Hobbs when I was there, which meant I was on the radio rep. So I did BBC radio rep. And that sort of set a really good radio bedrock. So all my radio stuff came from there. And when I was working on some BBC comedy with Peter Davison, that's how I got into
okay.
Okay.
And so everything I do, bits of everything.
Yeah, you really do. We'll touch on all of that as we chat. So we spoke to Miranda Raisin a little while ago, and she does some Big Finish stuff, as you know. And she said that it's all quite a bit like radio, didn't she, Paul? That
she did say that.
You go in and do a small part, and they like you and they ask you back for more. And like you said, you work with Peter Davison there, and on radio, and that probably helped lead to Big Finish in a way. So it's quite interesting, this kind of little
connections
and the connections and the stable of talent they've got. So when you met Peter, how did then the Big Finish stuff come about? Did he put you forward for something? Did you have to audition? Or
it was an audition and I didn't get it. So I was doing I think called Rigor Mortis. Was it Rigor Mortis? Yeah, Rigor Mortis on Radio 4 with him. And then he just rang me out the blue once and said, "Are you in London?" Yes, I was in Leicester Square doing a voiceover, and he said, "Get yourself down to Spotlight because I want you to audition for this series called Graceless." And that's Laura Doddington and Kira Jansen, I think. And I was at that point I was doing Famous 5 cartoon with Kira, so it was all and then they and I ran down there and I auditioned, and they went, yeah, you might be a bit old.
No.
Maybe they didn't say that or
politely.
But they really remembered and got back to do some dramas I did. I think the first one was Time Reef.
Oh yes, I got that. Yeah.
Where I played a lady in a jar. I dream of Jeannie, I think.
There's not many shows that you can
say things like that. Yeah. I played a lady in a jar. That was my pinnacle of my career, when I sat in that jar on the mantelpiece and played the lady who was sat within it. That's what I did. It was good. Yeah.
You do think we didn't do that at drama school. At drama school, they didn't do women in vases.
I think they should. They should totally do that. They should build that into the curriculum.
It should be a module that they cover. So with your Big Finish stuff, you sort of started with quite kind of smaller roles, didn't you? And then you kind of really built your way up through it, haven't you, to having your own recurring characters. So how's that felt for you? What's the process of it all been like?
It felt quite quick and quite easy. Sounds rude. I just sailed in, but I and I think the second thing I did, I had to play lots of different characters, and I was playing multi voice characters a lot, and then I was also boxing at the time, so I was training for a fight.
Okay.
I was quite serious about it. Otherwise I would get hurt. So I was training very hard for this fight, and then whilst I was doing my Big Finish, so then this character Rain Creevy came up, and she was supposed to be a high society girl and also a bit of an ass kicker. And they went, and actually Ken Bentley and David Richardson took me out for wine and said, there really isn't any point in auditioning for this.
It's yours, right?
They said, will you do it? I thought, yeah, all right. Thanks very much.
Oh, brilliant.
Yeah, which is fab.
So yeah, for an actor, it must be quite nice to, you know, when you get in somewhere and then you do a little bit more and a little bit more and it gets bigger and it's bigger, and you know, it's kind of a dream in some ways, I guess, isn't it, to have, well, you know, stable work as well, but you know, to have made that impression with a company and to keep getting asked back.
It's absolutely brilliant and incredibly rare, I think, to have that. And yeah, David Richardson has just sort of been backing me the whole way and always thinks of me for stuff. And they ring me. I've done a lot of reading in, so I try and curry favor. So whenever somebody can't show up, you know, and all the other actors are there and they need somebody reading that part for them to react to, I'll turn up in a kind of selfless and humble way.
Of course. Yeah.
I'll do
that for you.
Yeah.
Just because I am a very good person.
You just happen to be in the area, and
yeah.
You haven't been knocking on the door for an hour.
Yeah, camping outside. Don't mind that sleeping bag. It's nothing to do with me.
Yeah,
pots of breakfast.
It is really good to have, actually, and they've been really kind. So you do, even though you can feel safe-ish, but you're always thinking it could stop any moment. And it was lucky to go straight from Rain into Veclan, and Veclan's been coming back, so I got to work with John Hatt.
Yeah, I was going to ask if
wow.
you did.
Yeah, that's amazing.
I figured you did because of, you know, the War Doctor stuff. So how was that?
It was fantastic. For the first series, he was down the line. He was in Norwich somewhere. He was in Norfolk. And you could tell that we were having a really good laugh, and he really wanted to come and join in. And he rang David and said, can I come down and London for the next lot?
Yeah, fantastic.
He was really fun. Really, and I'm really on it as well, you know. First thing, his voice is so recognizable that when you have earphones on and he's in the next door studio, just the coming through your cans and you think,
oh wow. Well, was that kind of a shiver up the spine sort of moment, you know, was it? Yeah.
And he was just a fantastic actor, clearly, and really fun, really, and then just a fantastic guy.
Yeah, that's nice to hear, because he's one of those actors that I always sort of think is quite serious. You know, there's quite a lot of dramatic work, and you know how sometimes an on-screen you know, persona can kind of bleed into what you perceive of someone. So you know, to hear that, you know, that he's good fun, and not that there's any reason to think he wouldn't be, but that, you know, he was obviously enjoying doing the recordings and stuff is really nice to hear. And you know, that absolutely, I love it when someone's got the passion for what they're doing and they're really into it like that.
Well, the good thing about all the Big Finish things is it rattles along. So I think he'd had enough of sitting in his trailer for 5 hours and coming out with lines. He just thought, because if you want to do the actual acting, do some actual acting, and if you've got to wait 5 hours for it, it's just tiring and boring.
Yeah, I suppose could take the sting out of it a little bit, couldn't it? I guess.
Well, I suppose it's like that on a lot of modern stuff, particularly if it's effects heavy, because you know you're setting up for, you know, an explosion or whatever. Or
technics, Jeff.
Yeah, and you know, you might only end up doing a tiny little bit of you know, running from point A to point B, and then you go and sit and wait for 4 hours again, and then do another little bit of running or deliver a line or something. So yeah, I can see the appeal to, you know, doing the stuff like Big Finish and audio books, because quite a lot of, you know, big names and do them as well now, don't they? And it must be nice to, you know, we talked to Lauren Cornelius, didn't we, Paul? And we said, you know, do you roll up in your sweatpants and your hoodie, you know, just go in and do it? But it's quite nice, I think, like you're saying, Beth, just be able to go in and act and do it, particularly with other people around you, and there's no, you know, nothing holding you back from kind of the core part of the art there that you love doing.
Yeah, and the variety is so great. So I mean, you know, you can do the emotional stuff and the quiet stuff, but I've done something recently. I'm scared of saying things because I don't know whether things are always top secret.
Yeah,
I don't know
everyone's really secretive, and we try to
bleed it out of them, but they won't.
I'm the first person who's just going to glump through it.
We'll just beep it out. We'll just, you know, so just
we'll send it to Nick Briggs for approval.
Yeah.
There you go.
And I recorded something recently. Oh, that's what I say. And I hadn't I've worked with the Paternoster gang.
Yeah.
and they've got a different style. It's fun. It's out there. It's extreme. You can be as ridiculous as you like.
Oh my
Really?
goodness.
And
I'm starting to get terrified already.
we just went for it. And this is the most fun I've had acting in a long
Oh
time.
wow.
Brilliant.
Really pushing it till you got nothing left in the studio. Thinking,
Yeah.
it was
That's what you want, though, isn't it? Like you're saying, you just want to, you know, we know it's a job. We know everyone's got to work and you've got to earn money from it, and you've got to be good at what you do and everything else. But you know, if you can't have a bit of fun during the day while you're doing it, then what's the point?
Yeah.
Exactly. But it is so much fun that's why thank God the Big Finish, because if it's just acting, they always say that acting's a bit like an abusive relationship where you just but unless you're really successful. Otherwise you think to yourself, when it all goes wrong, rejection, you can't get the part, you think, oh, I'm going to give up, and all it takes is one little part, one little show of faith from the world of acting, and you think, oh, I live for this, I love it, it's amazing. And then it's quiet again. It's just like this push pull of just
How do you get the sort of resilience, or how do you develop the resilience, you think, to kind of push through that? Because it must be, we know there are a lot of actors out there who want to break into acting and finding it quite tough. If it's constant rejection after rejection, it might not be about them. So how what techniques have you employed to try and help you get through this? What sort of mindset do you think?
I just cry a lot, but behind closed doors. That's the inspiring message you have to.
Just flood it out the system, and then the next day is another day.
So
The Beth method.
You do have to spin a lot of plates, and the fact is, because I've got my voiceovers, and that's voiceovers on whole messages and adverts, and also cartoons, and then I've got my writing. So I'll always be creating something. I'm always coming up with a new thing. So even if everything's gone and you've got those rejections, you can go in another direction that is still in the creative industry. So you still feel like you're being in that world.
And we talked a little bit about this with someone recently, that I know a few actors and presenters, and they cross over and do a bit of both, and I think that's quite a good way to make yourself more employable and to give you more options, like you
stay visible, stay current.
So you can write, and if the voiceover work is quiet, you maybe you've got some acting that you can fall upon, and so like for me, I can film and I can edit and do all of that, so I can always kind of keep myself busy with things.
And you do podcasts, Jeff?
Well, I do podcasts, and
internationally. Everybody's on everybody's screens, on everybody's lips.
Yeah. Bit of this, bit of that, innit?
Yeah, a little bit woo, a little bit wee.
Yeah.
And well, it's a fast show for anyone who doesn't know my.
I know. I used to love the fast show.
Uncanny impression.
It was amazing. It's like Paul Whitehouse just walked straight into your room there, Jeff.
But the more areas that you can cover, the better, and it keeps you busy, doesn't it?
Yeah. Oh, absolutely. So I mean, half of it is just distracting yourself from the rejection, and the other finding something else you enjoy.
That's their problem. If they didn't want me, I don't care anymore.
Well, it is often, and don't you think that when you do get rejected for a part, quite often it will come down to something as silly as like your eye color, or you were 2 inches too short for the actor opposite you, or it's that sort of thing. It's not necessarily that you weren't right, good enough for it. It's any number of little things that are not necessarily you as a person, as an actor. And I think if you can once you kind of learn how to deal with that, I think the rejection's always difficult, isn't it? But it does make it slightly easier.
It does, but there's also powerlessness to that. So I mean, even though it's very rarely because you're not good enough, which sounds delusional. But I think from casting, because we do a lot of casting on Mystic.
Yes,
we've never decided against someone because their acting isn't good enough. We've decided because when they walked in, we thought, oh, that's the character we see.
Instantly.
Yeah, and he's got the humor, and the humor's the right kind of humor for the character. And even the others were good at comedy, and they were good actors, and they were the right height and color. But for some reason, it was just an energy.
You kind of know, don't you?
Yeah, and also you're fighting with lots of people watching all the tapes. And someone's going, I love this, I hate that, and some people completely overlook until one person says, have you seen the red-headed girl on the left of the, and we all watch and go, how do we miss that first time?
Yeah.
There's a certain luck and randomness to it, which at times can make you feel better, and other times makes you feel utterly powerless. So you think I could be amazing and perfect, but then
I
it's just part of the industry, isn't it?
Yeah.
That's the job. You've got to be able to do that.
I just watched Tom Cruise getting an award at something producers thing the other day, and he was talking about making your own luck. And
you have to, Jeff. You have to make your own luck in this
There is a luck element, like Beth, you met Peter there on a job, and that led to more. But the way you got yourself in there, and you have to kind of
you have to take the initiative.
And once you kind of get your foot in the door, it can lead to more. But you can't kind of you
can lead to more doors.
Yeah, you have to pursue it though and keep going.
Some people really kick the doors down, don't they? I mean, it's all well and good for Tom Cruise to say make your own luck.
Yeah, I was going to say
that's true.
It worked out all right for him, didn't it?
But who's the boy, Barry? Who's the boy that just won the Oscars? The Irish boy.
Barry Keoghan. He was in Eternals, wasn't he? And the Batman film as well. Yeah, Banshees of Inisherin.
You can tell I watched the Oscars from my blank stares at the screen. What are they talking about now? No idea.
No, I just look at bits that come up on Facebook when people like this person. I can't do award ceremonies. They upset me because I'm not there.
Yeah.
I just think, never mind.
There is a way to deal with that, which I found actually, because in my industry, having not won many awards, I've won a few, but none recently. Now I'm a judge. So
what are you judging?
I'm judging. I'm a judge. I judge things.
Just think, what do you, who and how?
I can't possibly tell you.
Okay.
He goes around town going, "You're judged."
You're judged. I'm judging here. Yeah, that's exactly what I do. Yeah, I'm just a judge of people being judgmental. That's what it is. No, but it's good. It's a good treat. You should try it. That kind of keeps you relevant and stops you being noticed for not winning any awards.
That's why I started a film festival, because I didn't win any awards.
Exactly. There you go. You can hand the awards out, and you can make a nice pithy comment and everything else. But
and then I can get one made. I can get a pity one made to take home. I award myself.
Oh dear. Anyway, coming back on topic, because we are talking about Doctor Who and various other things.
And yes.
Yeah, yes, absolutely. Yeah. So, Beth, would you call yourself a Doctor Who fan? Did you used to watch it before you were in Big Finish, or do you watch it now?
There's no judging, by the way.
No judging. We're not judging now.
When I was young, I watched it with Tom Baker.
Absolutely.
Did you? And I did watch it, absolutely. And now I listen to it. Different world to the TV. So now, actually, my boyfriend's daughter, Beth, who's also called Beth, is very is a big Doctor Who fan, and so I watch it with her sometimes. But I'm not very. When you dip in and dip out of things like that, it's quite confusing.
Yes, can be.
The same with Big Finish world. You think, what? So I think because I feel like I need to do it completely, not worry about it too much.
Yeah,
I get lost.
Yeah, I know that feeling.
It is like that. We've talked about Big Finish like that, haven't we, Paul?
There's so much of it, Jeff. Yeah,
and it's all so good. But like I saw someone on Twitter the other day say, what should I start with? People were like, well,
just pick one up.
Just pick a Doctor.
Yeah, pretty much, isn't it?
And pick one of their stories, because the chances are it's going to be a cracker, and you'll enjoy it. And because your work with Vecklin has gone from like the War Doctor into Doom Coalition and like the Gallifrey series and stuff. So it's really turned into a big part for you, isn't it? And kind of that journey as that character arc is spread across a huge number of series, isn't it?
Yeah, and I didn't see that coming. I think when I first I was working with I've just gone completely blank. Jacqueline
Rayner.
Jack
Rayner.
No, as in Pierce. Jacqueline
Pierce. Oh, Jacqueline Pierce, as in Serverland, Blake Seven.
Sorry, I just and so because she was very imperious, and I just thought, well, I'm your second in command, so I'm going to be a bit like you. So I just thought, there was only one episode, and then character kept coming back and having more of a personality, because she was quite unemotional. And but then as the more scripts came out, they became drier and funnier, and they get John Dawley in there, and there's going to be jokes. So they're like, so she changed a little bit. To start with, she was absolutely straight down the line. We're going to fight this and do that, and I've got no sense of humor whatsoever. And now she's
straight.
I think Susan's War was where she felt like a bit of a kind of dug around in her character a bit more.
And is it nice to, like you said, you didn't kind of expect all that to happen, and is it, for you as an actress to, have had your skill recognized like that, and the character to be responded to such that they've developed it? It must be quite cool.
Yeah, I think so, because they could have easily just gone, I think that character, we don't need that character.
She's died off screen, I mean,
they've got room to do that, so it's very flattering that they didn't. But sometimes I like to know it's going to have a longevity, because I'll maybe paint it with more watercolor, because I feel like if you know you've got a long run to go, you can just show little bits. But I think I kind of went in quite hard on the first episode, and I'd like to have backed off a little bit, maybe. I don't know.
And well, the thing is with Who as well is, even if the character reaches their end, there's all sorts of avenues for stories that haven't been heard before, and resurrections and timey-wimey stuff, so chances are you're not really going to be dead anyway, to to come and develop it all a bit more. So you've worked with all of the doctors that do Big Finish, I think, haven't you? Is that right?
I have. I've not worked with, I know Tim Treloar voices one of the doctors.
Yes.
I haven't worked with him, even though I was on the Radio Wet with him when I won the Carlton Hall.
Oh, right. Hey.
So I've known him for a very long time. John Hurt and Jonathan Carley and Christopher Eccleston and David Tennant and Tom and Colin and Sylv and Peter and Paul.
That's
you've done them all.
In my mental checklist of Big Finish doctors, that's all of them, I think.
Is it?
I think it is, Chef. You're dead right there, mate.
I do know. I haven't done much with Peter, and because he's basically he's always he complains to David and says, "I brought her in. Why is she?
Where's my royalties? Where's my agent?
Where's my
fee?
cut?
So what's it like working with all of them, and particularly Tom, if you kind of grew up watching him, is it quite?
Oh yeah.
Do you get a bit like for Paul or I?
Yeah, a bit starstruck. I wouldn't know what to say. I just sent a jelly gibberish. And Tom,
the ability to talk. So did you go in and you're like, oh hi, be really cool about it, or inside you is like, ah.
I was intimidated, I think, meeting Tom, because he's quite a huge character. But you can't. There's no room to be nervous, because he'll do the talking. So,
and you do the listening.
Awkward silences or anything. And he's fun and entertaining, and also again really on it. So it's quite safe. I think John Hurt again, but very quickly put me at my ease. And Paul as well. Paul, because of Withnail and I was a bit like, but then he's a big boxing fan. So, and I was boxing when I first met him, so we talked about, really.
That's good. You've done quite a few with him, haven't you, with his doctor? We talked to Colin a little while ago, and he was brilliant, wasn't he, Paul? He was so kind of, he's really sharp as well, isn't he, and quick-witted, and he was a lot of fun. He's
on fire.
How often do you go in to record with them? Because some people just do like one session a year or every couple of months, or you must be in there quite a bit, I guess.
I'm in there quite a lot. In fact, this year I was away doing Mystic, and they would ring sometimes, and I'd say, I can't do it. And then, he says I'm the host.
Oh, Paul's disappeared. We are still recording. He'll come back in a minute. That sometimes
all right,
happens. So
it's like I could have booted him out. Sorry. I'm in there quite a lot. In fact, last year I had a run where I was in twice one week and once the next. About six times, I think. I was sort of popping in on different things.
Right, that's great, isn't it? For an actor, to have that kind of that regular stuff. And do they have a set studio that you go to, or is it different ones?
Well, it used to be Moat Studios in Ladbroke Grove, and
Yeah.
that was where the lunches everyone banged on about.
Yes, we heard about the infamous lunch. They don't do them anymore.
No,
You know,
no, they
that
don't.
is honestly, Beth, that is a myth that has
It's
been
a shocker.
demolished.
I feel like I've been let down
Yeah.
for my life now. It's not good.
It was really. It sounds like something we've all gone, oh, what a lovely lunch.
Mm.
It really was extraordinary.
Yeah, that's what we'd heard. Yeah.
How is this happening? So yeah, it was great. But now that was when we were in Ladbroke Grove, which was Toby, and now we're in the Sound House in Acton, North Acton.
Nacton.
Even though I'm there a lot, I still have to check which stop to get off at to think. Yeah, so we're out there, and it's kind of cool. It's a very cool place. You turn up and there's jobs going on all around it. So there's 4 different studios, or actually much more than that. But so there's a cast doing an English language tape that you sort of know because you've done a cartoon with one of them, and then there's another cast. We were in there recently, and they were doing Gaslight with Johnny Vegas was directing it.
Oh, okay.
And Greg Wise. No, not Greg Wise. Oh, James Purefoy.
Okay.
And then crudely, I can't remember the woman who was in it, who was equally fabulous. But so you got those sort of dramas, and you've got and everyone always comes up and says, "Oh, you're doing Big Finish, are you? You're doing who's the director?" And you think
they're doing
get
off. That's mine.
They want you to be there, Peter, and get you in.
They sort of everybody wants to get into a Big Finish, I think.
Yeah.
They do look like a lot of fun, don't they, Jeff?
Yeah, it would be. You'd be good for a voice for it, Paul.
Well, I'd say we just hand out the tea. You know, I don't mind that. We just do the tea breaks and go around with the mop. Mind your feet, mate. Mind your feet. I know you're recording, but I've got to mop that booth, ain't I? I just do what I'm paid for, mate. I've got to mop the booth. So you carry on. Don't you mind me?
Do you reckon we could bring back the legendary lunches between us?
I don't think our budget will stretch for that, Jeff.
I'll make a pretty good cheese sandwich. But,
there you go. Cheese. You do the cheese. I'll do the egg.
I'm sure that will be the standard that everyone was used to.
Yeah. You can try. Let's see how it goes.
I'll try.
It's worth trying. Be persistent. That's what you got to be. We established that earlier on in the podcast. Yes, indeed. Yes.
So, but let's go back to the early days of your career. So, how did your love of acting develop? You mentioned the school, the degree that you went to. So, what kind of put you on that path, and how did it all grow and develop from there?
I don't really know, which is a terrible answer. I know when I was growing up, I was very into horses, and my dad was a jockey. We had racing stables and stuff, and it was all very entitled. But whatever. And that was going to be what I was going to do, I think. But it's really tiring looking at horses and dangerous. And so I just thought, maybe I'll act instead. It'd always been there. It had just when I was very little, I played Will Scott playing, and I loved it. And then I tried to play Tallulah in the school play in the Bugsy Malone.
Bugsy Malone.
I didn't get it. And I'm still a little bit sore about that.
So you're not the sort of person who carries a grudge for long then, right?
Yeah.
Only when I've been robbed. I think all the way through school I just really wanted to do it, and I really wanted it. And and then I went to university because I thought I'd have to have a backup degree. Although the really brave people, the really cool people go, I don't have a backup.
No B plan.
No, and I was absolutely
what did you do at uni?
I did education so I could be a teacher because I
see that's quite interesting, because I went to the local college to do a talk recently with the film students, and they were asking, should we go to uni and get a degree? And the teachers were sitting there, and I went, no, probably not. And because I went to uni, did my film degree, was it worth it? Probably not. Because
you hated it, didn't you?
My tutor was
tutored.
He was a horrible.
We've had this story a few times.
We've had this story. Sorry, everyone.
Oh, okay, no.
I think that there's some jobs like acting that you don't necessarily need to do that kind of, official path, if you do you know what I mean, by like going into education or something. Get out there, get experience, go make a film, get acting, go write something. And so I said to the teachers, is it all right if I tell them don't go to uni? And they were like, yeah, that's fine if that's what you think. And I said, for this kind of stuff, yeah, I think so. Yeah.
I think it's immersing yourself in the world of it. So I went to Cambridge, and that meant that I did Footlights. I did
oh yes, yeah.
First thing I did was a Freshers play, and Sacha Baron Cohen was playing Cyrano de Bergerac, and then I did loads of plays. I did Round Around the Garden with Olivia Colman.
Wow.
And then we went to Edinburgh with her and with my writing partner as well. So I did loads and loads of stuff, and that was what made it, and also made some connections. But that's
it. You get connections, don't you, and it build up that CV. Yeah.
So that made a difference. And then I went to drama school, and if someone said to me, should you go to drama school? I'd go, I mean, I did more plays at university than I did at drama school. Yeah. I didn't think about it too much at drama school.
Yeah.
About drama school. University for me was great because I got to do it kept it as fun. The acting was fun and free, and you could do stuff and you could play with it, and nobody was judging every single thing you did and taking all the fun out of it.
Yeah.
That can happen, isn't it? When you make a course out of something creative like that, it can suck all the joy from it if it's not done. I'm sure there's a lot of courses where that doesn't happen and they actually inspire and motivate people, but I'm sure there's a lot that actually just make it standard kind of, soulless stuff, which is not great. The whole thing about creating is it releases you, doesn't it? It allows you to express yourself and find your voice and find out who you are, and just try lots of different ideas and expressions and show something to the world that maybe they've never seen before. They wouldn't, and if they have, they wouldn't have seen it from your experience, from your perspective. And that's something universities and colleges can't teach you. Maybe they can show you how other people have done it and maybe make you avoid making silly mistakes, possibly. But from my point of view, as soon as you try to install a set of rules on something creative, you take something away from it.
It sucks the fun out of it.
Just getting that one out there.
No, but you're right.
The platform, share that soapbox. Oh yes.
No, you're right. It can take the magic out of it, and I think that only when you get stuck, if you're doing a part and you go, I don't know what to do here, then maybe you've got some tools.
Yeah.
But yeah, hopefully you don't need that. Hopefully you just read it and there's instinct. You need to have instinct.
Yes, I think that you've got to have something in you to better do it in the first place, in voiceovers or acting, or good eye for a shot, whatever it might be. So how did you get your first agent, Beth? What was that journey like for you?
That was very conventional. I went to drama school. At the end of drama school,
okay,
there's a showcase, and
so that would be a plus of going somewhere like that, wouldn't it?
Yeah,
they can introduce you to that sort of thing.
Yeah.
Drama school gave me the showcase, which gave me an agent, and it gave me the opportunity to be in the Carlton Hobbs, which when I won that, I got the contract. So these are things I wouldn't have done without drama school.
Yeah.
Even though I think people can do that, they can do the Carlton Hobbs another way now because they've realised it's elite to only the drama school graduates can do it. So it gave me that. I mean, probably gave me lots of things. I feel a bit guilty that.
Now we think about it, drama school did quite a fair bit.
A lot of people got loads from it, and maybe because I've been to university before, I've done 4 years, and I've done loads of stuff. It was the wrong order, maybe. I don't know.
Well, maybe it's all cumulative, the university, the drama school, plus your earlier experiences. It's all kind of gathering momentum, isn't it, with you, and giving you some idea of what you love, I guess.
Yeah, absolutely. And it also makes you a lot older when you limp onto the scene.
There is that, yes. But wiser, more experienced, I would say.
Well, it's character work then, isn't it? Character acting.
There you go. That's exactly what it is.
I never wanted to play Juliet, I'll tell you
that. So what was your first big credit then, Beth? What was your first big break?
God.
You started land that one in there, just toss that cannonball straight in.
I know, when you say big break, it makes me sound like I'm catapulted to.
Yes, when I played Lear at the Old Vic years ago.
I said to you, I can't even watch award ceremonies because I'm not there. I suggest maybe the big break is.
What was the first?
Okay, go on, Jeff. Yeah.
The first first professional, job that you got, and the first time that you kind of got a bit of money where you thought, bloody hell, this is working.
Well, actually, I suppose I was very lucky. From university, before drama school, I got rung up by a voiceover agent, and got a voiceover agent from the Footlight show.
Right.
Then that was the first time I got paid for stuff, and thought, and as I realized 2 years later, I only realized 2 years later when my dad said, no, you have to pay tax. I thought, it's not a job. I didn't understand. So yeah.
Killjoy.
I haven't got anything left.
Yeah, but how? So
welcome to the world.
Yeah.
And then when I left, that's when I left drama school, I auditioned for a play at Chichester Festival Theatre, and I got that at the same time as getting the Carlton Hobbs.
Yeah,
Right.
that's Jeff's neck of the wood, that Chichester Theatre.
Yeah, I live in Horsham, and I did some filming at Chichester Festival Theatre a couple of times last year, and weirdly enough, we got there for a show, and people who've listened to the podcast before will know this, and I knew what the show was called, but I didn't know who was in it, and we got there, and I discovered that the main actor was the guy who played the baddie in the recent series of Doctor Who, and I said to Sam Sproul, and I said to the guys I was with, oh my god, you're not going to believe who
and then he went all fanboy.
Yeah, and I was like, I need to be really cool now. And we were live editing the show, and I was setting the stuff up in a little room at the back, and I looked up, and Sam was standing at the door, and I was like, hello. And I text Paul, you're not going to believe who's here. And I thought, I'm going to have to go and say, I thought you were excellent in the show, and I managed to get the chance to, and we got chatting, and I happened to mention the podcast. So
I'm texting him, get him on the podcast.
Paul's going, do it. And he said, oh, I'll come on for a chat if you'd like. I said, oh yeah, it'd be brilliant. And he was great, but it was just a total fluke. But Chichester Theatre's was a great space. You
make your own luck, Jeff.
Well, that's it. I was sitting there thinking, if I don't say something, I'll regret it. Even if it's just to say, you were brilliant. I wasn't kind of thinking, well, I must get him on the podcast, but it's just to.
I was thinking that.
Well, you were. My phone kept going, and I was like, but yeah, it's great down there. It's a really good theatre. Yeah,
I loved it. But even though when I got that first in the, God, what was it? What was it? It was a thing play with Greta Scutchy.
Oh yeah.
And it was Noel Coward, Easy Virtue. It was called.
Yeah, they made a film of that, didn't they?
I know that one.
Jessica Biel.
I know of it.
Yeah.
And it was directed by Mariah Aitken, and I got that, but then I got and I had to choose between that, so I chose the radio rep. That would breed more, and then got another chance to go to Chichester, and I did Tom Stoppard, Arcadia.
Ooh, yeah.
So I did get to go there in the end, and that was probably a good theatre one, which I felt that was a good play and a good to do. I mean, I did Midsummer Murders, and that was joyful for me, because my best friend plays Cully Barnaby in one of my best. Sorry, in case Amy's. But yes, Laura plays Cully Barnaby in Murders, and I got to play a part in her final episode. That's great. And I got to be murdered.
Oh, brilliant!
Yes.
I betrayed my love. I wanted to make this man marry me, and so I blackmailed him, and then he stabbed me through the heart with a massive, great big silver sword, and I was found hanging off the wooden paneling.
Oh, excellent. Quality death right there. I think that's pretty good.
It's surely for every actor, getting a good on-screen death is on the bucket list,
Yes, I got to lie in the morgue as well.
Bonus.
Yeah. With the sheet over you for a while. I'm not trying to.
Yeah.
I can't actually breathe there, guys. Don't leave me here.
Blink, So, out of all the different stuff that you've done and that you do, what is your favorite medium? Do you like being on screen or in the booth or on stage? It's kind of an impossible to answer, really.
I feel lucky that I get involved in and love each thing I do when I do. But maybe because I do less television acting, and that for me, it was just on films. It was just joyful, and I really enjoy it. But it hasn't been sated, that joy. So maybe that it's not that I enjoy it more; it's that I haven't had a chance to.
So there's more you want to do in that area.
There's more.
Yeah, I sort of do. So I think acting, TV acting, and actually I'd like to do some more theatre as well. But I the joy of it, because you know when you do Big Finish, it's different stories all the time. You're
Yeah.
never bored. You never ever
Yeah.
get bored.
Yeah, that's one of the things with Who, isn't it? You know, it's different every time. You know, one week you're a head in a jar, next week you're an alien.
Exactly.
You know?
Exactly.
There you go.
I think be careful what I wish for, really, when I say maybe more TV acting, because you know, according to John Hurt, I spend most of my time sitting in a trailer. So,
Yeah.
so, maybe
There is that.
Yeah,
I was watching the behind the scenes. I think it was a Doctor Who thing. Oh yes, it was an interview with Graham Harper on the collection box set, and he was saying that, you know, in the old days they try and get like as much of a 25-minute episode done on multi-camera in a day, or I say a day, it's like a 4-hour recording session in the evening. Whereas now it's like you're filming literally 12 to 18 hours a day for about 3 or 4 minutes of footage. So you can imagine how much kind of waiting around there must be on something like that. It's crazy, isn't it?
Yeah.
Crazy. Yeah. But, you know, that's time to learn your lines. That's the way I look at it. You know what I mean? Use that time productively. Yeah.
Yeah.
Sometimes you get nervous. It's time to wind yourself up into a complete. To think,
Yes.
oh, I've been waiting for 3 days to do these 2 lines.
Yeah. And then they say, we're rescheduling you to tomorrow.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Can't do it tonight.
Yeah.
Be back
That's
tomorrow.
right.
Sorry, guys.
So we're not going to do a close up on you because we don't need to. It's just mainly about
Back of the head. You know? Yeah.
But I washed my face and everything. I've got
Someone
makeup
else's
on.
reaction. Yeah.
Oh dear. Yeah.
So, Beth, tell us what was it like being Bellatrix, LeStrange?
It was very cool. I mean, you know, it's the video game Bellatrix.
Yeah.
It was extraordinary actually, because I mean she's from Helena Bonham Carter's from Winchester, which is where I'm from.
Right.
And I think that slightly helps. And I also did a thing on the Today Show where I had to the film she was Planet of the Apes with Mark Wahlberg. They did a skit.
Oh yes.
They got me in to do her. So I've done a bit of trying to not really imitate her. I sort of just do what I would do if I was doing the same part. I like the fact that when she's doing Bellatrix, she does this and then she does that, and she just completely did the
She's
gymnastics.
all over, isn't she? Yeah.
But you can't really get it wrong as long as you are varying it. So I would listen to the sort of things she'd do, and then I'd think, get some new lines and I could just pick what I thought would work better. And there was lots of fun because she goes for it as well. She really goes for it. So
yeah, it's a great character. Yeah.
And I didn't do it wasn't full mocap, but I had just on my face and
oh wow, you got to wear the little dots and things.
Yeah, but just for the facial bit. But, so they had to see how my face moved as her.
Brilliant.
That's pretty cool.
Yeah.
Have you,
oh, sorry, Paul, what were you going to say?
I was just going to ask Beth if have you done more video games? You've done a few of those?
What's it like doing them? Because you know, Paul, we play stuff, don't we? And you know, there's so many alternate lines for every scene,
that's true.
You know,
yes,
he's taken the mick out of me, but he'll be up till
no, I'm not,
honestly.
No, I'm playing a big old game at the moment which has taken over my life, hence all the bags under the eyes and general sort of pallid complexion.
It's not because he's
what are you playing?
What am I playing? At the moment I'm playing Cyberpunk 2077, which is just awesome.
Really?
Yeah. I got it just before Christmas. And you know, the thing about these things is like the first few hours the first few days, right, you're kind of finding your way around and the story's yet to kick in. And then many years later, the story kicks in and then it just takes over your life. It's like reading a really good novel, but one in which you are obviously the central thing. It's great fun. I love them. Yeah. It's all good fun. Now everyone's looking at me strangely as if
I sort of wish I got to grips with it, because it does sound, I get that, and it does sound like it would be fun if but I don't really know what I'm doing. But no, it was I've done the Mass Effect and
that's what Paul.
That's one of my favorite all-time games. I didn't know you were in Mass Effect. Really? Were you?
I don't even know what I did. I'd have to
right, I'm googling now. You see, I have to do this now. I thought I had everything on you.
I may have done bits and bobs. I don't know, but it was definitely I've done.
I'll text Paul and how was your evening? And he'll be like, I was up till 2 or 3 a.m. playing Mass Effect.
Mass Effect. And, honestly, I love that game. Anyone who's played it will know exactly where I'm coming from. Brothers and sisters, you are out there. I know you know me, right? This is astonishing. There you are. Look, Mass Effect. Beth Chalmers.
Yeah, was I just doing bits and bobs in it? What was
bits and bobs? I doesn't say actually. That's a bit disappointing. Hold on.
Yeah, I'm sorry.
Do you find, Beth, with so many things that you do you remember everything, or I suppose you probably
I don't, and especially I think with video games, you go in and some of them are mainly about, I know about video games is that they hurt. I did oh god, I don't even know what to say. Oh, I did something Troyish. Oh god, no, anyway, and playing harpies and sirens and oh wow, hours and hours of going, I will bring this. Oh god. Not a thing. I should come down and hurt people and anything. Yes, so they hurt, but I have to commit. I like to commit.
Yeah. Yeah.
Mm.
The acting in games is, it's so much better these days than it was even a few years ago. I think really.
Yeah, I think people are starting to understand it's quite a serious industry now, isn't it? It's a valid form of entertainment.
Like, all the motion capture stuff is great. It brings the the kind of cutscenes in games just to life. It's just so much better. Like when I've been playing stuff and you get a scene where it's obviously been done with people, and then you get another bit where it's just dialogue and the characters just standing next to each other. And I know that's how you would shoot dialogue in a film, but it seems so sort of flat in a game for some reason when you get another scene where like I was playing Resident Evil a while ago, and they're rolling under doors that are shutting and they're throwing tables around and the doors are exploding with zombies, and it's so well done. And because
it's like a day in the life, isn't it, mate?
Well, yeah, and the way the camera moves with it, and you really feel kind of brought into this film version, and I expect the stuff you play is like that as well, Paul. It's so much.
Yeah, just not zombies. Zombies make me feel ill. I played The Last of Us a while ago when that was out, and that was an extraordinary game. It was unlike anything I've ever played, and I'm so pleased to see it on the TV now. It's but again, it's almost like that. That's a sign of. Well, I think it's a sort of sign of the recognition and validity of video games as a credible, piece of media that, maybe certain people of my sort of generation, maybe a little bit older, have a judgment about them. They're destructive or whatever it is, but they're really not. Like any piece of media, they could be. But like most pieces of media, they're not. They're entertainment. They're enjoyable, and escapist, fun. Sometimes you learn stuff by going through them as well.
And I love the. We're getting totally off track here, but I love the art and the design work in these things.
Yes, and
it's film.
It's incredible,
film level and beyond. Sometimes it's incredible looking at this stuff and kind of getting immersed in a world.
And it gets more and more sophisticated, and it becomes an. I know all actors I know, that's the thing they're trying to get into, because that's most of the work. Most of the work, with all with Brexit sort of dampening down the animation industry, that's kind of harder to come by. But the only thing that is just getting bigger and bigger and bigger and bigger is
constant growth.
These games, Well, talking of animation, it's like
I was just going to do that. I just brought them up now. I've got a little list of animations here. So little red tractor.
What's it like being a number block?
It's great.
I remember.
It's great because it's just the biggest series I've ever done. I mean, everybody knows it, and I feel what's amazing about it. And I can say I think it's incredible because it's not because of the me. It's not because of the voices, because the way they've written it, the way they've designed it, and the animators, and the attention to detail is extraordinary, and I think it's brilliant, and it
so good.
My kids have all loved it. We've watched it. My son is 8.5, and the twin girls are 5, and they've all watched it. We've bought the magazine. We've had the block figures. We probably had a toy of you at some point. But yeah, it's really good, and there's a bit of singing in it, and it has interested and inspired them a bit with maths and numbers, and at that young age. So I think it's a really good show. It's
good.
Nice.
Good. No, I'm very proud of being in it because I think it's pretty fantastic. So so yes, and it's one of the things you used to do cartoons in a group and everyone would come in it. You could, but now money and efficiency and smaller studios and you're doing it on your own, so you are doing a lot of voices for 4 hours. And a lot of energy.
Wow.
What's that like when you're trying to record and deliver something, but you haven't got the recipient dialogue coming back. Did you find it hard doing that?
Yeah, because sometimes I did a sort of an animation radio thing recently, for a big dance thing. So it's still the animating characters. And the director was reading in with me. And it meant that I could give I could be just undercut and do silly answers. And a lot more comedy could come out that way. But when you're doing it on your own, you can't depart too much because because you can't pull the rug out from the scene or go a different direction or just
you don't know what the other side is going to deliver. I saw a little video on YouTube a couple of weeks ago, and it was the guys who play the mum and dad on Bluey. Have you seen that?
Oh yeah,
It's such a good show, and my kids love it probably as much as I do. But they'd been recording the show for like 4 years, and they only just met in person.
Oh wow!
In LA, they were flown out for the live Bluey show, and they were on Jimmy Fallon or something, and it was the first sort of time they'd met. And they said sometimes they record so they can hear each other, and sometimes they don't. And the dad actually he's not a trained actor. He was just a friend of someone on the production who said, actually, your voice is good, do you want to read for this? And now he's Bluey's dad. So I thought it must been tricky for him. He's probably absolutely bricking it when he went in. No experience, no one opposite him, but it all fits together so well on the show. And they have there's the kids who play Bluey and Bingo. They've kept them secret. Nobody knows who they are.
Oh, really?
Yeah,
are they worried they're going to get mobbed or something?
Well, I think they just wanted to kind of keep them having a childhood, So because I've looked in the credits and was like, who plays them? Oh, that's not listed. And I was thinking, are they AI?
Yeah, maybe they are.
On that topic, Beth, I'm not a fan of all that sort of thing, but I've heard about like AI voiceover work and stuff like that. What are your thoughts on it?
Well, I mean, I don't want to become obsolete.
It's work. That's how I look at it.
Yeah, like audiobooks.
No, like someone was telling me that there's an AI program or app that will do a voiceover. Could create a voiceover.
Oh,
so there's no need for people. And I know someone else who was getting his voice digitized to make an AI version of himself.
He was actively doing that. Oh, I would know.
And I said, really? I find it a bit. It's like the AI art generator things and AI editing programs and stuff like that. Like, hello, creatives are here, and
I feel like if I did that, somebody recorded my voice to do digitized stuff, then I would always that version of me would always be churning out the most predictable, run-of-the-mill, obvious, unexciting.
Exactly.
To do the job, keep the curtain up, absolutely. But I want to be surprising.
Yeah. You can't
spontaneous.
Yeah, you can't digitally create that little inflection in the voice or that tone in a reaction, something. It's not
yet.
Well, let's hope never.
Yeah, at the moment, mate, AIs can't even tell a difference between cookies and puppies. Well, it's true.
And did you see when Google launched their AI, they did this great big launch, and then it got one of the questions wrong, got the answer wrong, and it cost them like millions of dollars in.
But again, maybe that's a sign that it's the whole simulation is broken, mate.
Well,
maybe that's what it is, because anybody could get a question wrong. I could ask you a question that you know the answer to, and you could just give me a whole load of old nonsense in response to it.
So what you're saying is it's become self-aware and it's tricking us by
exactly. That's exactly what I'm saying.
Next step.
Got stage anxiety.
Yeah.
I'm sorry, I've gone blank.
Corpsed.
Right. Oh, sorry, I was
just rounding it up with a kind of yes, I don't like the idea of it at all.
Don't like the idea of that. No, that's it. So what's next on the horizon for you, Beth? What's lined up? Any ideas? You can tell us about, obviously.
Yeah, we'll beep anything that is top secret. Just give us a wink when we need to beep it.
Well, I don't. My trouble is I never know whether things need to be beeped. I've just done a little bit in an Apple TV series, which I think now it's in post production, so that should be out soon.
Right.
I mean, it's not a massive part, but it's good and it's funny. And I'm writing, got a project in with the BBC at the moment.
Oh wow!
Which, still waiting to hear stuff about that. So it's always
Is that for a TV series as well, or
it'll be a TV sort of, hopefully sort of 3 1-hours.
brilliant?
So a bit true crimey and a bit cool. So
Ooh,
having done Mystic, or the Mystic, you know, with the kids when I would, it's and drama. So that's kind of cool.
Brilliant.
And then I'm doing number blocks at the moment. I'm still doing Odo. Odo's coming back to my kids. Odo, the kids in Odo.
Love, is it?
Amazing. Is it little Northern Irish? No, the little Northern Irish kid is that's a great
Northern Irish. All right, so that's what it is, eh?
Fantastic. I just yeah, he's a real cutie, and both those kids are extraordinary, actually.
Yeah.
So yeah, more of that. You know, you ask and you think, what am I doing? What am I doing?
Sorry, I didn't want to make you doubt yourself now.
There is work, I think. I'm sure I've got stuff.
I'm sure I had loads of work on in my head, got loads of work, but actually, now you mention it, I don't know why I bother.
I'm going to yoga or not. I tell you what, I am practicing. I am learning the piano.
Oh wow, that's good. Yeah.
That takes time. Oh yeah, I'm terrible at it. And then I watch the piano on that reality show with people learning.
Oh yeah, it's quite good, that, isn't it?
Yeah, well, they're amazing, and it's full of people going. Well, I'm not very musical. I'd never played before, and I just got a keyboard and watch some YouTube videos, and then they all do all this stuff, and I'm still there going and I was really
trying to get both hands to work together.
Yeah. Yeah. I'm not a natural, but it's really, I think it's good for the soul.
I always wished I could play the piano. I used to play the keyboards in a band years ago, but I was literally just one hand, and I could do that. So ask me to do stuff with the other hand, and it all just goes to complete pot. So it was no good at all. Guitar, I was a little bit better at. I could do guitar.
Yeah.
Trumpet, I could play the trumpet as well. That was my key thing when I was at school. I could play the trumpets. Yeah, playing in a little rock band, when I was at school. Used to go down to Covent Garden to record, lay down the occasional track, and just bang something out there. It was great, underground, grunge, you name it. Yeah, it was all pretty cool. And then we just got wasted, failed our A levels, and everyone went their separate ways. We went through the entire lifespan of a band before we were 19. There you go.
Well, that's quite. You really did. I thought you were being ridiculous, but you were ridiculous.
No, I did actually play in a band.
That's just his normal.
It was a lot of fun. Yeah, it's a lot of fun. Yeah, really enjoyed it, and I still miss it. It's good fun. Yeah.
Do it again.
You should make a theme tune for the podcast.
We had this when we had Johnny Mathers on, didn't we?
Yeah.
Johnny Mathers.
So he played Passenger in Doctor Who Flux. The really tall guy wore a mask the whole time.
And he's a proper muso as well, isn't he?
Yeah.
Proper rock meathead.
In fact, talking of
metalhead
games, do you know the God of War games? It's like it's Kratos, isn't it, Paul?
Yeah.
It's quite a big series, and the character was really tall, bald, tattooed, and Johnny did cosplay stuff for him. Anyway, he got hired to be the official kind of character for the game and sent out to LA and did the launch of it and stuff. So that was really cool for him. Yeah.
It's a good story. That he's a good guy as well. Great guy. We love Johnny.
Really nice. Yeah,
making it happen.
Exactly. Yes. Take those opportunities and run with it.
Well,
try not to be
as
afraid.
we're saying, you got to make your own luck. Yeah.
Yeah, you do.
So, Beth, I've probably got one more. Well, we could talk all night, but I'm aware it's getting on. I've got one more question. If you could do any big finish with any doctor or any companion, who would they be, and what would the story be?
Best question.
Well, because I love working with Sylvester, but I also like working with Nicola
Bryant.
Oh, Nicola Walker.
Nicola Walker. Sorry, yes.
And that would be quite cool. I make a mismatch of all of them. But then I also quite like when Paul McGann swishes around a lot.
Does he?
Does he?
Yeah,
I can imagine him doing that.
he
Yeah.
probably could say, but both, I think Paul McGann and Sylvester have got such a sense of panic in the studio.
Oh, brilliant.
They're both kind of quite, the energy's like that.
Yeah.
So maybe you couldn't have two of them in one room. I feel bad picking one, but who do I? Oh, I want to do all of them. That's not rubbish. Oh, Alex McQueen. I'd like to work with Alex McQueen.
Oh,
Okay,
yeah.
yeah.
He's a master, isn't he?
I was at National Youth Theatre with him, and then I was at
Right.
university with him, and I've done like half a day with him a million years ago, and I think he's really good, and I would like to work with him.
Mm.
I would like it to be a high energy. Weirdly, I did just do a story that I loved, but I can't tell you about it. And I played my ideal character.
Oh, really?
Oh, did you? Oh, wow.
Yeah, which I can't.
Yeah.
Annoyingly. Yes. I'd like to do full drama.
Mm.
Not too much running and explosions. You know, when you're always running down corridors and everything's
Yeah, it happens to me every day.
so I'm not this isn't a great answer, is it? I feel like
That's a good answer. No, it's good.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm enjoying it.
Alex
I'm enjoying the physicality that's going with the answers. I like that.
I think a John Dorney script, which has got
Yes.
comedy, and with Alex McQueen and Nicola Walker and lots of other people, frankly. Every day when I go turn up, there's always someone I think, oh, she's great, he's great. And the last thing, with brand new people, there's a whole cast. I didn't know any of them. I fell in love with them all. And
brilliant.
So yeah.
You've just pitched an idea there. So hopefully John was listening. Nick, maybe.
Yes, well, we know they listen to our podcast. They do in secret, because obviously Big Finish have their own podcast, which they have to public support. But we know in secret they're hanging on to every episode of ours. It's true.
I did say I wanted to do something, and he said, "Well, we're listening." But there you were. I said I wanted to be Strax's sort of sister, long lost sister.
Oh, that could be fun.
I want to be a female Strax, basically.
Yeah.
Just that sort of like where he does that like prim confusion.
Yeah.
So I said,
"Your tongue is stupid human. Kill the human scum."
So I think a bit of Strax with Dan Starkey and Alex McQueen.
Yeah.
There you go.
Yes, that would be good. Yeah.
Yeah. Actually, Dan Starkey, there's a name we should try and get hold of.
We should see if we can.
Yeah. We'll get in touch with him. Just find a way.
I'll tell him to follow you and
just slip it into conversations.
One day I dream that
you wake up with a Sontaran Dan Starkey.
No, it's more mundane than that. But one day
I'm doing in my bed, human scum. Get out of once. I'll set a grenade down your throat.
What is your dream?
It's not that, I can tell you.
No, it's not that. Oh, okay.
That someone from Big Finish or something messages us and says, "Oh, I've heard you're quite good. We'd love to come and have a chat with you." So that would be pretty awesome. But you kind of, that's kind of how you did, didn't you? Yeah, we were chatting. Yeah.
There you go. Exactly. Yeah.
Or is that not enough?
Well, we initiated it. It wasn't a cold DM, was it?
I'll spread the word.
Yeah.
That's brilliant.
And in fact, I'm doing some things on Friday. So.
Are you? Ooh. Is it exciting? Is it exciting things?
Yes, somebody fabulous. Actually, a lot of reading in, but with somebody who's not in this country. So,
you can't leave it like that, Beth. You got to know now. You've got all these suspenders and everything. Oh, blimey, cool.
I have to record at 10 o'clock in the evening because
what hemisphere?
Time difference.
Where she is, so there you go.
Jeff's going there. He's trying to think. You can see the steam coming out of his cans.
Very exciting, very charismatic, very fun, and
has she done it before?
Oh yes.
Okay. Still interesting.
I just know Big Finish, but I know that I know, but I haven't even done it yet. Means that's probably something I should keep to myself. Everyone knows the fact of her, so the fact is.
Yeah, you've been vague enough. I can't.
Yeah, I think so.
There'll be no red targets appearing on you.
No, and we won't get the knock on the door. Excuse me, who C2C podcast? We understand that you have been fishing for privileged information that is so far confidential and under a non-disclosure agreement.
I know David Richardson would just go, "Oh, Beth, really?"
Again.
Really?
There's always one.
Are you like the Tom Holland of Big Finish there?
Tom Holland cannot keep Marvel secrets. Yeah.
Oh, really?
He has to walk around. He can never be interviewed alone now, can he? He has to have someone else with him just to show him up.
He has to be filmed burning his script so that he can't risk leaving it around anywhere.
Yeah, well, they take this is the thing. We can record something for Big Finish, and 3 years later, there's something gets released that goes, release the new thing. You think, I did that years ago. I mean, how would I have not known to I could have easily talked about it.
You could have forgotten about it. You could have done it, forgotten about it, talked about it, forgotten about it again, and then it comes out.
Then it comes out,
I think that might be what happens a lot of the time.
Yeah, it does. From we've spoken to other people, and they said, I recorded something, last year, hasn't come out yet, or I did it last month, but I know it'll be next year when it comes out. It's quite a long schedule sometimes on it.
Yeah.
So, I'm not surprised you forget stuff. Yeah.
This has been a lot of fun. I've really enjoyed this podcast. It's been really good. Thank you for joining us. Thank you.
I'm so sorry about. I have to go and buy some new headphones.
No. But we should just.
That's an opportunity.
Yeah, Beth's
how long
headphones.
Have you had those? Oh, yes, one.
Yeah, Beth's headphones packed up, dear listeners, before we said hello, and then she couldn't hear us anymore, and they literally failed on you there and then, didn't they?
Yeah, I said I could hear you, and then just nothing.
Yeah.
And I like them.
Have you had those headphones for long, Beth? Are they?
I think when lockdown started, we all started doing this.
Oh,
yes. Yeah. So maybe how long do headphones last? Should they be
probably a little bit longer than that?
In fairness,
to be honest, but
you probably use them quite a bit, I would think, don't you?
Yeah, every day I'm in here.
Yeah, so they've probably got a shorter lifespan than most headphones would be expected to have. Yeah.
Or unless you have corrosive ears or something. I don't know, but
possibly.
I mean, me personally, I can get through headphones because I sweat a lot, and that can get into the pads.
Gosh.
Ears.
Gosh,
what a note to end.
I'm just going to leave you with that image now, right? Just let's end it on that one. There we go.
And if you're only listening to the podcast, you can go on the YouTube version and check out Paul's sweaty ears there. So treat yourself to that. Yeah.
That'll be the punishment, Jeff.
Yeah.
Not sure what for yet, but
0 views.
Yeah. Thumbs down all the way. Paul's headphones are really, really sweaty. I don't like this at all. I'm calling the police.
Wow.
The headphone police. They exist. They're real.
Sweaty ear, please.
Right, before this goes into any further
crazy,
into the realms of nonsense, Beth Chalmers, it has been a delight and a real pleasure having you on our podcast. Thank you so much for delighting us with your witty repartee and your fabulous stories of behind-the-scenes shenanigans of Big Finish and all the rest of it. And I wish you every success in whatever you do next.
We look forward to seeing and hearing what comes next.
It has been a joy to talk to you.
Thank you very much.
Oh, thank you, Beth.
Take care. See you soon.
You too. Bye-bye.
Bye.
Bye-bye. Take care.